Alright,
off the ninth grade very well. Yes.
you're on.
All right, class.
Which 12?
Good morning. How's everybody doing this morning? Happy Easter for everybody, or good holiday weekend? Are you with the class, or?
Yeah, guess so.
Okay, go ahead. Have a seat. That'd be great. All right, we're just going to do a quick review of what we went over last time, Friday, when we talked about the Industrial Revolution. And we're going to wrap up the unit this week. So we talked about child labor, and what were some of the benefits that child labor actually could do for a house that didn't have that much income, didn't have much to offer except, well, let's just go with that. Child labor. What's Elizabeth? What's one actual benefit to child labor? What's it do for a household?
It gives them an extra source of income.
So to have a little bit of income. And
Someone, just an extra pair of hands to get things done around the house.
that's a good one. Now what about as far as, let's say your 7-year-old brother is out working in a glass factory. What does his future look like?
Like he'll be working in a factory the rest of his life.
Okay, so that could be something that could be on both sides, of positive or maybe negative. But what's a good thing about having
What you're saying is like the.
at least a
You look at down here, it's almost as if the square ones are like something you think of box whereas the circle ones.
what's a positive thing?
Like if you're
As far as down the road when he's
He has developed skills.
so he develops a trade. So he's actually has some marketable skills, right? Now, Elizabeth, what is one of the downfalls of child labor, having a 7-year-old or 8-year-old in the workforce?
It's an 8-year-old in the workforce.
Is that a good thing?
No.
What's the downside of that? What'll be bad
Children
about
should not be working that young.
what could happen to?
They could get injured.
Okay, so safety. Okay, Caleb, what else?
With a lot of, or let's just say with a lot of like little children working with grown adults, you would face the problem of the child's mind being warped and changed into something more mature that shouldn't be seeing at that point in time in their life.
Very good point. Not really ready for the adult world yet, right? And I think we'll just put that under safety as well, as far as influence. Could be good to have a trade, but also it could be bad if we're around adults that are a negative influence. Now let's move over to transportation. When we talked about transportation, we had railroads, we had roads that were being built, we had everything that was getting all of our goods and services ready for market. So, as far as transportation, most of it's going to be on this side. Is that correct, Drew?
Yes.
Now, what would be a downside of transportation
I'd say,
as far as the railroads and the?
yeah, I'd say particularly the trains, maybe pollution, burning coal.
Who's going to go and assess it as a class? What you're going to be doing
So
after this is you're going to be.
What kind of influence on the market does transportation really have, Elizabeth? What do you-
It speeds things up because goods and services can get to different places quicker.
It's a speed to market. So let's say, Megan, you have your widget right there. You make it for you and your family, and it's all good. But then all of a sudden, you make 5 or 6 extra ones. What are you going to do with those widgets?
Some to these guys.
Here's when you're doing a little bit.
What if Drew is over there and he's 200 miles away?
Well, then he doesn't
It's hard when you don't have good roads. You can only use a horse, maybe. But the horse is pretty rough when you have, let's say, the widget weighs 200 pounds. So all of a sudden, now we have goods to market.
More knowledge, more.
And that, as far as the speed, smart. So what in the Industrial Revolution, these things were brand new. So what happens all of a sudden to what happens to your local and regional governments? What happens to them as far as when money starts coming in? What do they want to do? Drew, what do they want to do when all of a sudden the money, let's say you see Elizabeth here and she's got a stack of money because she's selling all of her grain, she's making whiskey out of it, and she's sending it over across different counties. She's got a stack of money like this. What do you now, as the mayor or the, let's say, the legislator in that area, what do you want to do?
Tax her.
You want to get taxes, right? Yeah, we've got the money flowing in. So, what do you think Caleb, what do you think the influence is going to be as far as your economic system? What's going to happen?
I would say that well, obviously, like the local governments are going to have more money, so they're going to be able to actually put more money towards like certain things like city infrastructure. So I would say it'd be a pretty good positive thing.
Excellent. Excellent answer. Actually, infrastructure, I was just going to say, all of a sudden you have a bridge that you can put over a stream, now you have a road that connects one place to another where it's divided by body water. Well, as far as the, sometimes when you think of economic systems, you might think of different countries. Now, let's say, Cassie, does China have the same economy as the U.S.?
No.
What kind of economy do they have?
Their economy is they make things for a lot cheaper, a lot more, and then they sell it to other countries.
Okay. Now, when you think of their political system, what do you think of?
Communism.
Communism. Now, economic and political, sometimes they meet a little bit in between. So sometimes when we think of communists, we also, we don't just think of them, let's say, as far as the hierarchy, their power structure in their country, but also how they get goods to market and how they regulate things. So so we have communism. So what kind of economy do we have here, Drew?
More of a free market capitalist.
So we have capitalism. Now, what kind of, how would you compare that to China?
I would say it's more driven by the private sector than the public sector.
Now, Megan, the president right now, his social policies, what do some people, let's say, that oppose him, what kind of structure do they call it? You know, when they have social programs that they want to give all these entitlements to people. What kind of that include in what kind of economic, political structure are we talking about? Social programs?
Socialism.
There we go. Very good. So what we're going to do right now, I have some research for you guys to do. So we're going to put our thinking caps on, and we're going to develop a few things, and we're going to compare economic models. In actually, I have 4, so we're try this one. You two could have that one. Now what the rules of engagement here? We have economic models: utopian, communism, socialism, and capitalism. What we're going to do with the links provided. I guess I do have another one. With the links provided, okay, on the second page, they're all ready for you to do the research. So what we're going to need, as far as the characteristics.
Does anyone want to share this? Here's what goes through each of those.
4 characteristics. And as far as the advocates, pioneers, or anybody that's an innovator with that type of government. We want to have
And I don't know anything about that one, so I suppose that was the most interesting. And my new questions are how is it
we want to have 3.
time, and how did they make this for
So you guys go ahead and get your laptops ready, fire them up, and what we'll do is we'll go through the chart that we have here, fill that with 4 characteristics, 3 of the advocates, and what we do have at the end is a question that we'll go over.
Any questions or?
So you guys go ahead and get us started on that.
I'd like you to use this worksheet and focus on your literary analysis here.
Does anybody have any questions
It's not set in stone.
while we start here?
But I'd like you to follow
Okay,
this.
I'll be circling around, so if you have any questions, I'll be more than glad to fill you in. Too bad I didn't have the actual links to email. The recipe.
I started to fill it out during, but then I was not paying attention, so. That's true.
Now, some of these, you might already have a few things in mind through a few, if you know a few things for like capitalism, you can go ahead and fill those in.
That link doesn't work. And then you have to like add on the rest.
Did you use for bigger effect?
Okay, so let's see.
So I wanted to find.
You're not all working.
Well, how they come
That one's fine.
in.
Those should be on the first half of that.
Yeah, that was most of them.
Yeah.
Kayla, how we doing?
Oh, we're doing fantastic.
Okay.
Did you get anything for
Characteristics.
the first one yet?
I'm working on it. Okay.
They're self-sufficient. Good.
I noticed in some of the lessons that I see, I just kind of launch into it. It takes a while to figure out.
Let's see. They're close to nature. They're usually isolated, and they do a lot of physical work.
Looking at the
Well,
so using like dry mouse and like the wall and like trying
In
to.
the US, they're saying like the Puritans. And then also like the Shakers and the Amish.
Not sure where the ducks are, but
The East today, yes, and the Amish, and where the Amish live. Amish country.
Take pictures of the Amish every time I see them. Pretty sure you're not supposed to do that. I also take pictures of nuns if I see them.
what are we doing? Or the most of them work?
I think so.
This
Wish that was some smart work instead.
Noise.
Works so much better.
Alright. That's always
A couple of links were, surprisingly, were really good.
Now on to skipping communism onto socialism. Robert Owen, pioneer.
Robert Owen.
Oh, you're filling out yours. Good. Good.
Okay to like start just
New England, Northern California.
I know like the main basis of socialism is the sharing of wealth
Right.
amongst all citizens, so wealth equality.
Right.
Then the main points. So as long as we get about 4 characteristics, like we don't have to get too much more detailed than that, at least for right now. Nice. Like how you guys work as a team.
Oh,
You guys
let's
wanna
see. Lots
maybe
of
skip
stuff
it.
with like labor, like age limits for children and working days.
Is this all socialism?
Yeah. And reducing the working day from 14 to 10 hours, and sick pay and stuff like that.
You guys are getting it done very well.
Okay.
That's okay. We're gonna review once we're using. First paragraph.
Robert Owen. Boom. Communism, lack
Robert
of
Owen.
private
I've
property.
heard that a couple times here. Good.
well, instead of like letting them go off, maybe some of them.
It's funny when you read your lesson. How
Community owns
Yeah.
production.
I tried to copy it.
Yeah, community owns production. Frederick Engels.
does
And
anybody have any questions?
labor is divided up equally. Really?
I knew how to
You're
spell
a
it.
senior social studies major?
No, I'm not. I'm not a social studies major. I'm only a senior in high school.
Girls, if we can work at your insight for us.
Yeah, resources distributed according to need.
Okay. How we coming along? Are we nearly done?
Sort of.
We're getting there.
If we get the characteristics done, we'll wrap everything up.
Marx and Engels. Alright.
Does anybody have capitalism?
We're going there next.
And how could he differentiate them on this, so that those numbers can be productive?
Nice. You feeling a little better? Get some water?
Demonstrate with a step-by-step example as a class.
I got lazy.
Anything else you can think of, looking at this visually? This is designed for college. Yeah, maybe use the back of the page, like here's example on the side,
Okay.
or maybe templates, example.
As far as who developed it, I would just say goes back to the Middle Ages with
I'm hungry.
who
When's
traded
lunch?
with guilds and stuff.
So, trade guilds.
Yeah.
Right after the bell rings. Just hold on tight.
And then
So being aware of that is kind of really big for us. So I know that's been a question.
division between capital and labor, profits, investing money.
think we're gonna wrap things up here. Okay, so finish up what you're at. You can come on in. They're just working quietly in groups, so we're fine. All right, if I could have your attention up here, we're just going to finish up. Now, so we have the four that we're finding the characteristics. Drew, is there anything that stands out as far as any one or group of the economic, political, as far as the categories go?
I would say it kind of stood out to me with the utopian model. It's called utopian, but it's pioneers or Puritans and the Amish, who we kind of look at as like crazy. But like with the name utopian, you think it's like a perfect society. You know?
Which perfect society is kind of hard to think of in the 21st century, thinking that's from how many years back, right? So to them, that's their perfect society, and in some ways it may be. What else stands out as far as any of the characteristics that you see of any of the classes, the political classes you see? Elizabeth, is there anything that stands out for you?
It's because of socialism. We got a reduced working day and sick pay and stuff like that.
So that impacts just socialist countries, or does it impact more than that?
Now it impacts more than that.
Okay, that kind of goes to the president's social programs a little bit too. They do bleed into each other. Cassidy, what do you see as far as something that stood out for you?
For the utopian, it was interesting that it's experimental because like it's never really worked before except for the Amish, and they're just so not behind in the times, but they chose to stay stuck in time.
Now that's a great observation. Now, my question to you is, does any political system and their economic system, do they stay the same?
No, the world changes.
No, so they always evolving. How many people did they say were on welfare and all the social programs in the United States right now?
Millions.
They said there was more people added to disability claims in the last 4 years than there were previously at that time in 2008. So has there been a change? Yeah, there's been a change since then, right? It's up to us to continue to research and kind of dig a little deeper, use our brains a little bit to see what is behind that. Right. So what we're going to do to finish up, there is a question on the bottom there, or an observation to me, and it says, based on the research, write a paragraph, 4 to 6 sentences, describing why capitalism is different from the other 3 systems. And that'll do it. Okay, that's good. Okay, how do you turn the scale?
Don't worry, Bart, you won't learn anything.